Lovely rapport. Thank you for joining me again for my second video on creating your own monologues. This is a brilliant opportunity to be creative and unleash some of those sort of thoughts and feelings you're having at the moment. So for today and for the work we're going to do now, you're just going to need some pen and paper and your notes from last session. Or a laptop or a computer or whatever you've been using basically to sort of continue on from last week. So just to reiterate, you should have the beginnings of some work now, and what we're going to do is we're going to flesh it out. I love that word, flesh. We're going to flesh it out this week, and that is our plan. But before we do that, we're going to do a bit of a warm-up. Now today's warm-up is a silly, okay, and it's something that I absolutely encourage you to do with siblings or parents or your granny or whoever is currently on lockdown with you, or even not on lockdown but on a screen somewhere. Have some fun with this. We're going to do some tongue twisters, or they are ridiculous. But before we do that, we're going to do a little face warm up. We're going to warm up our face and our mouth, and we're just going to get ready for that. So I'm going to teach you a technique that is used traditionally actually by presenters of the news before they go live on the news. Quite a lot of them have been known to use this technique, and basically it's just saying the alphabet but with your tongue stuck out, and the second you stick your tongue out, your face is having to work harder to get those sounds out. So that's what we're going to do, and I'm going to delight you all by showing you my version of that. And if you hear my voice at the moment, let's just note the difference in my voice after I've done the warm-up. And let's see, because it should definitely make a difference. Let's go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. And that is the difference. I can feel the difference in my mouth. Everything sounds and feels more crisp. So that is amazing, isn't it? Just from doing that. So now my face actually feels a bit warmer, so it must be quite warmed up and ready. I've got 3 tongue twisters here, a mix of some you might know and some brand new ones. The first one is my favourite, but it's also the hardest, and I'm just going to go for that first. It's about a chip shop. It goes like this. There's a chip shop in space which sells spaceship-shaped chips. There's a chip shop in space which sells spaceship-shaped chips. There's a chip shop in space that sells spaceship-shaped chips. There's a chip shop in space that sells spaceship-shaped chips. The secret is to be able to say it faster but still articulate and clear those words. Nice, clear, concise sounds. Give that a go. See how fast you can get. See what Uncle Pete can do on Zoom. See if he can get it dead fast. Send us your results. Would love to see that happening. Oh my word, that'll make my life. Next one, very short, quite well known. Sounds dead easy, but it's really hard. I like New York. Unique New York. I like New York. Unique New York. I like New York. Unique New York. Brilliant. This last one, love it, because it's about toads and it's about Tewkesbury. Tewkesbury's not a million miles away from here, so it's quite nice to have a chance to talk about it. 2 toads, totally tired, tried to trot to Tewkesbury. 2 toads, totally tired, tried to trot to Tewkesbury. Off you go. Give them a shot. Let me know how you get on. It was lush to see so many of your faces. Oh my word, wasn't it? On our Zoom chat last week, and I hope that's working out well for you. Do let us know if you've got any feedback on it or anything you want to try, because we are totally up for that. Let's crack on. The monologue. Right, so I have sent you through a plan of today's session. Within that plan is some notes that I'm just going to run through with you now. This is relatively dull, this bit, because it's just me talking to you. Okay, and I'm really sorry about that. But this will lead us to greatness. So sometimes you have to go through the kind of tough, thinky bit in order to get to the greatness. You've got a basic monologue, okay? And what I need you to do is to go away and to explore 3 different things with that monologue, okay? Now, I am going to give you quite a lot of time to do this. I'm not going to make one of these group videos for 2 weeks now. I'm not going to make one now until May the 21st, okay? Because by that point, we will have our monologues. Yes, we will. We'll have them written and they'll be ready to go. But what I can't do is do one generic video for all of you, because each of your monologues are going to take you off on different journeys, okay? So what I would love you to do is over those next 2 weeks, and I've put again this in the notes, okay, there it is at the bottom. I would like you to send me how you're getting on. And that can either be written as a Word document, or you can, if you prefer, say it as a recording to a video. Doesn't need to have much kind of character yet. We can work on that. But let me see how you're getting on. And if you can send that through to me, next Wednesday and the Wednesday after, I will watch and read what you've done. And I will give you back individual notes on that and how to improve it. It would be amazing if between now and my next video on May the 21st, you could send me a couple of snippets of what you're up to, because then we've got a real dialogue going on, okay? And I'm really able to help you with making that as good as it possibly can be. So no group video next week from me. Next week is going to be all about me giving you individual notes. All right, there'll be no group video the week after either, will there? So that's 2 whole weeks of you and me on a one-to-one basis, individual work. I look forward to getting that work from you. So here are your 3 areas that I'd like you to think about this week. My first question for you is that monologue you have at the moment, is it dramatic? Your character should be experiencing pressure of some kind. Pressure that has driven them to speak. A monologue is not just something that happens in a play because somebody says, and now there's going to be a monologue. Your character has got to be driven to speak, okay? So we take something like Shakespeare. You know I love Shakespeare. Within that, there are so many, there are literally hundreds of brilliant monologues, and all of them come from characters who are driven to speak because they are feeling an emotion so strongly. If I take Midsummer Night's Dream, because obviously that's a play that we've begun to do a little bit of work on, there are moments in that. Let's take Titania in Midsummer Night's Dream. She has this beautiful monologue where she basically just talks about how much she adores and idolises Bottom with his massive donkey's head. She is driven to do that, and the drive is her absolute adoration and love and passion for this donkey, okay, in that moment. It's not just a, oh, he's all right. There's drive there, there's emotion and there's drama. Okay, so what is driving you in that monologue? I've asked some questions. Is that drive external because somebody's having a go at you or somebody's annoyed you or you're feeling pressure from another person? Or is that internal? Is your character feeling something deep inside that they want to express? And it might be so private and so personal that they're doing it in this format so nobody else sees. Okay, so what is their drive? Is it that they're searching for hope and they can't find it? Is it that they found hope and they're elated and they want to express that feeling? Monologues don't just happen, okay? They've got a purpose and a drive. Find that drive, find that drama, make sure it's in there, okay? And it's completely fine to totally scrap loads of what you're doing, okay? That's wonderful. You have already got some words that we just plucked out last week, and you've begun to work with those words and you've begun to find the story. So now we're just adding that drive and that drama. That's your first point. Your second point, which I'm just going to read here from my piece of paper that I made notes on. The audience need to sympathise with the person who's saying the monologue, with your character. We must sympathise with them. We must feel sorry for them. We must feel connected with them in some way. But this is important. We, as an audience, don't have to feel the same way as them. Okay, for example, I have watched incredible monologues and speeches by some of the most disgustingly awful, horrible characters. Okay, you know, I'm thinking about characters who've murdered people or who have hurt somebody. Okay, But just because I don't agree with their behaviour doesn't mean I can't sympathise with the position that they found themselves in. So there's got to be some humanity in there. We've got to connect with them. We've got to feel some of that feeling. Okay? Your character might be, your character, not you, your character might be expressing opinions that you don't agree with. And that is fine. Okay? You are not this character. This character is not you. Okay? So don't worry if you don't agree with your character. All that matters is that the audience can feel something when they're listening to them speak. We've got to understand why your character's feeling that way, but it doesn't mean we've got to agree with them. Okay? Does that make sense? So I guess what I'm really saying there is your character doesn't need to be nice if you don't want them to be. All that matters is that we connect with them. The third and probably the most important of all the points, which is quite often forgotten in writing, is about wants. What is it your character wants? Do they want an answer to a particular question? Do they just want to be heard? Is that why they're speaking? Do they want recognition for something they've done? What is it they want? And that could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different things, okay? Or it might just be one that drives the way through the whole monologue. But what do they want in those words? Okay? What is it they're after? And that's all part of their journey, okay? You don't need to answer their wants in that monologue. It could just be that you're putting it out there, that this is what your character wants, and you can't find the answer. Now, to help you, on the lesson plan for today, I've sent you through 2 good teenage monologues that I've seen performed. One is from a play called DNA, and it's a girl called Leah. And in this monologue, she wants the attention of a chap called Phil. Now, the way she goes about trying to get it in this monologue is quite funny because she just rabbits and talks at him. No. Okay? And you can tell through it that her desire is for him to notice her. Okay? He doesn't by the end of the monologue. You know, that's all we see is her trying to get his attention. The other monologue, which does come with a little bit of a warning, it's from a play called Chat Room, and it's about a young man who's recounting a story of something that happened to him when he was 6. The story is really sad, and it's about being abandoned and being left. Please don't watch that if you're a little bit sensitive and vulnerable at the moment and that's going to upset and hurt you, or if you in any way feel that you've been let down by somebody. You might want to avoid that for now, because let's not trigger all of those feelings. But if you're quite well and you're quite happy and you want to watch something which is quite hard, just to see what can be done with words, then watch that one as well. It's a very good piece. Right, guys, so just to reiterate everything I've said in this video that's important, you have got a good couple of weeks, actually. I think even, let me just look at my little diary down here. I think it's actually 3 weeks. Yeah, you've got, so next week will be the 7th. I'm not doing a full class video on that date. Then it'll be the 14th. I'm not doing all that. My next one is 3 weeks away, okay, on the 21st. That's my next full video for all of you. So between now and then, go away and work on these things I've said, and work on the stuff that we did in last week's video, and begin to flesh out and create some writing. Then send it to me, and I'll help you with it. And then you can do it again and improve it again. And then on the 21st, I'm going to do a video that helps you learn how to record and perform your monologue. And then you can create a fabulous recording of it, like I'm doing here with this, and you can send it back. And you would have achieved something incredible in those 6 weeks. All right, guys, it's been absolutely wonderful to talk to you today, and I'm really looking forward to our Zoom chat. I will catch up with you all very, very soon. Take care. Bye.